Strengthening the core and spinal stabilizers is fundamental for a resilient, pain-proof back and has cascading effects on sleep quality, mood, and emotional regulation. The deep muscles of the core, including the transverse abdominis, multifidus, pelvic floor, and obliques, form a natural brace that stabilizes the spine, distributes load evenly across vertebrae, and prevents compensatory movements that can lead to strain or injury. Many cases of chronic back pain are not due to structural damage alone, but arise from weak or uncoordinated stabilizer muscles, which force larger, superficial muscles to overcompensate, creating tension, fatigue, and microinjuries. Activating these deep muscles requires intentional, controlled movements that emphasize precision and stability rather than maximal force. Exercises such as planks, dead bugs, bird dogs, and controlled bridges train the neuromuscular system to recruit stabilizing muscles efficiently, improving postural control during both static positions and dynamic movements. Resistance training, when applied thoughtfully to the core and posterior chain, further strengthens these muscles, enhancing spinal support under load while simultaneously increasing overall muscular endurance and metabolic activity. Beyond structural support, core and stabilizer strengthening improves proprioception, the brain's awareness of body position in space, allowing for safer and more coordinated movement patterns. This enhanced proprioception reduces the likelihood of sudden strain or awkward movements that trigger pain episodes. The benefits of stabilizer strengthening extend into sleep because a supported, aligned spine reduces nocturnal discomfort, enabling deeper, more restorative slow-wave and REM sleep. Quality sleep, in turn, enhances the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate the amygdala, improving emotional regulation, resilience to stress, and mood stability. Pain-free movement throughout the day lowers chronic sympathetic nervous system activation caused by discomfort, decreasing cortisol levels and promoting relaxation, which further supports sleep and emotional balance. Training the core does not require extreme intensity. Consistency and form are far more important than lifting maximal loads. Even brief daily sessions focusing on neuromuscular activation and posture control can produce significant improvements over weeks. Integrating this practice into functional movements, such as standing, lifting, or reaching, ensures that stabilizer muscles are actively engaged in real-world contexts, protecting the spine during everyday activities. Breathing patterns also complement core activation. Diaphragmatic breathing engages the transverse abdominis and pelvic floor, creating intra-abdominal pressure that supports spinal integrity while simultaneously activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which reduces stress and improves sleep readiness. Over time, strengthening the core and spinal stabilizers establishes a foundation for pain-free movement, reduces the risk of injury, and enhances physical resilience. These improvements cascade into better sleep quality, mood stabilization, and emotional resilience, as the nervous system experiences less chronic stress from discomfort or instability. By committing to intentional, consistent activation and strengthening of deep core muscles, the spine becomes more resilient, movement more efficient, and the body better equipped to support restorative processes that govern emotional and physiological health. Mobility and flexibility optimization are essential for maintaining a strong, pain-resistant back and supporting overall physical and mental well-being. The lumbar spine is biomechanically linked to the hips, thoracic spine, and shoulders, meaning restrictions in any of these areas can lead to compensatory movement patterns that overload the lower back, increase tension, and create chronic pain over time. Tight hip flexors, hamstrings, or thoracic segments force the lumbar spine to compensate for restricted motion, often resulting in excessive arching, shear forces, or asymmetric loading of spinal structures. Optimizing mobility through dynamic stretches, foam rolling, and controlled joint rotations allows the body to move efficiently and distribute forces safely across the musculoskeletal system. Hip opening exercises, such as lunges, pigeon pose variations, or hip circles, restore hip extension and rotational capacity, reducing undue stress on the lumbar spine during walking, running, or lifting. Thoracic mobility exercises, including thoracic extensions over a foam roller or seated rotations, improve upper back flexibility which supports better posture and reduces compensatory stress on the lower back. Shoulder and scapular mobility is equally important, as restricted movement in these regions can alter spinal alignment and force the lumbar region to absorb additional load during upper body activity. Consistent mobility work not only prevents mechanical overload, but also enhances neuromuscular coordination, improving balance, proprioception, and functional movement patterns. When the spine and surrounding joints move optimally, stabilizer muscles can function efficiently, reducing fatigue and tension that often interfere with sleep. A more flexible and mobile musculoskeletal system lowers sympathetic nervous system activity by reducing pain-related stress signals sent to the brain, which in turn improves sleep onset, sleep depth, and restorative slow-wave cycles. Enhanced mobility also improves circulation, bringing nutrients and oxygen to muscles, connective tissue, and intervertebral discs, which accelerates recovery and reduces inflammation that can disrupt sleep or contribute to irritability and emotional dysregulation. Daily integration of mobility exercises, even for short periods, creates cumulative effects, gradually increasing range of motion while training the nervous system to move safely and efficiently. Pairing these exercises with proper breathing patterns further supports relaxation, parasympathetic activation, and stress reduction. Over time, mobility and flexibility optimization not only enhances spinal health and reduces the risk of injury, but also amplifies the effectiveness of core and stabilizer strengthening by allowing muscles to engage fully through proper movement patterns. This synergy between strength and mobility fosters a resilient spine, reduces chronic tension, and supports emotional and physiological homeostasis by minimizing pain-related stress, enhancing sleep quality, and stabilizing mood. By prioritizing consistent, targeted mobility work for the hips, thoracic spine, shoulders, and surrounding musculature, individuals can create a functional environment in which the back is protected from injury, the nervous system remains balanced, and the body and mind are both primed for restorative recovery and emotional regulation. Sleep posture and environment are critical determinants of spinal health, restorative sleep, and emotional regulation. The way the body is positioned during sleep affects spinal alignment, muscular tension, and nervous system activity. Poor sleeping posture, such as sleeping on the stomach or in a twisted position, can place uneven stress on the lumbar and cervical regions, causing microinjuries, muscle tightness, and disc compression. Over time, these stressors trigger discomfort that can fragment sleep, increase sympathetic nervous system activation, and elevate cortisol levels, all of which interfere with emotional stability and recovery. A neutral spine alignment, where the natural curves of the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine are maintained, allows muscles to relax and distributes load evenly across vertebrae and intervertebral discs. Supporting spinal alignment can be achieved through the selection of an appropriate mattress that balances firmness and contouring, as well as pillows that support the cervical curve without forcing hyperextension or flexion. Side sleeping with a pillow between the knees or back sleeping with a small pillow under the knees are strategies that maintain lumbar neutrality, reduce strain on paraspinal muscles, and promote optimal intervertebral spacing. The sleep environment itself plays a critical role in both back health and restorative sleep. Darkness is necessary for melatonin production, which regulates sleep-wake cycles and promotes deep slow-wave and REM sleep stages essential for tissue repair, memory consolidation, and emotional processing. Temperature also influences sleep quality. A cooler bedroom, generally between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, supports the body's natural thermoregulation during sleep, facilitating faster sleep onset and deeper restorative cycles. Noise control is equally important, as sudden or chronic environmental noise can trigger microarousals, increasing muscle tension and sympathetic nervous system activity, which disrupts both sleep and spinal relaxation. White noise or nature sounds can help mask disruptive stimuli, promoting uninterrupted sleep. Over time, optimized sleep posture and environment reduce nocturnal back discomfort, enhance slow-wave and REM sleep, and improve parasympathetic nervous system dominance, which stabilizes heart rate, reduces cortisol, and allows for better emotional regulation. Additionally, maintaining a consistent sleep environment reinforces circadian rhythm, ensuring that melatonin release, cortisol cycles, and growth hormone secretion occur at optimal times, enhancing both spinal repair and mood stability. Integrating minor evening routines that support spinal relaxation, such as gentle stretching or foam rolling, within a properly optimized sleep environment further enhances these benefits. When the body can fully relax during sleep without pain or tension, the nervous system can restore balance. Neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine are regulated, and emotional resilience is strengthened. By prioritizing both posture and environmental conditions during sleep, individuals create a synergistic effect where spinal health, restorative recovery, sleep quality, and mood regulation are all optimized simultaneously, setting the foundation for a pain-resistant back and balanced nervous system. Circadian alignment and morning sunlight exposure are critical for spinal health, restorative sleep, and emotional regulation because the body's internal clock governs hormone release, nervous system activity, and tissue recovery. Exposure to natural sunlight within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking provides a powerful signal to the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the hypothalamus, the brain's master circadian clock. This signal regulates cortisol release, which peaks in the morning to promote alertness, metabolic activity, and readiness for movement. Cortisol also helps modulate inflammation and tissue repair, which are essential for maintaining a resilient and pain-proof back. Proper alignment of circadian rhythms ensures that melatonin, the hormone responsible for initiating sleep, is released at the appropriate time in the evening. Melatonin supports deep, slow-wave sleep, which is crucial for muscle repair, spinal recovery, and consolidation of emotional experiences. Misalignment of the circadian rhythm, often caused by late-night screen exposure, irregular wake times, or insufficient morning light, can delay melatonin release, fragment sleep architecture, and disrupt both spinal recovery and mood regulation. Morning sunlight exposure also influences neurotransmitter production. Bright light stimulates serotonin synthesis in the brain, which not only improves mood and emotional resilience throughout the day, but serves as a precursor for nighttime melatonin production, linking daylight exposure directly to sleep quality. Improved serotonin and melatonin cycles reduce sympathetic nervous system overactivity, which can otherwise manifest as muscle tension, low back discomfort, or increased pain perception, particularly in individuals with compromised spinal stability. Engaging in light physical activity outdoors in the morning amplifies these benefits by increasing circulation, oxygen delivery to muscles and intervertebral discs, and enhancing neuromuscular coordination. This combination of movement and light exposure primes the musculoskeletal system for daily load-bearing activities while reducing stiffness and the likelihood of compensatory movement patterns that contribute to back pain. Consistency is key. Daily morning exposure strengthens circadian entrainment, creating predictable hormonal and neurotransmitter cycles that optimize both tissue recovery and mental resilience. Individuals who maintain this habit experience improved sleep onset, longer durations of slow-wave and REM sleep, and reduced nighttime awakenings caused by discomfort or pain. Furthermore, regular morning light exposure reinforces alertness, cognitive function, and emotional stability, creating a positive feedback loop where better sleep, reduced pain, and enhanced mood support overall spinal health and functional resilience. By integrating circadian-aligned behaviors and consistent morning sunlight exposure into daily routines, the body is better prepared to recover from physical stress, regulate emotional responses, and maintain a strong, pain-resistant back while simultaneously optimizing sleep quality, neurotransmitter balance, and hormonal cycles that underpin mood and emotional regulation. Evening relaxation and movement routines are critical for supporting spinal health, optimizing sleep, and stabilizing mood because they directly influence nervous system activity, muscular tension, and tissue recovery. Throughout the day, muscles, particularly those surrounding the lumbar spine, accumulate tension from prolonged sitting, repetitive movements, or improper posture. This tension, if left unaddressed, increases sympathetic nervous system activation, elevates cortisol, and contributes to discomfort or pain that can interfere with sleep onset and quality. Gentle evening movement, such as dynamic stretching, yoga, or mobility drills, helps release tight muscles, improve joint range of motion, and restore proper alignment to the spine. Targeting the hips, thoracic spine, and shoulders is particularly important, as restrictions in these areas often force compensatory movements in the lumbar spine, increasing the risk of microtrauma and chronic back discomfort. Incorporating controlled spinal extensions, rotations, and hip opening exercises reduces compression in the lumbar region, alleviates stiffness, and improves postural balance for both sleep and daily activity. Mindful relaxation practices, including diaphragmatic breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, or meditation, reduce sympathetic nervous system dominance and increase parasympathetic activation, which promotes calm, lowers heart rate, and signals the body that it is time to transition into sleep. This shift in autonomic balance allows muscles to relax fully, decreasing nocturnal tension and pain perception, which supports deeper slow wave and REM sleep essential for tissue repair, spinal recovery, and emotional processing. Consistency in evening routines is vital, as the nervous system responds to predictable cues that signal rest, enhancing circadian rhythm alignment and optimizing melatonin release. Over time, integrating these practices reduces overall muscular tension, lowers inflammation around the spine, and improves proprioception, which contributes to safer movement patterns during daily activity. Evening routines also create a feedback loop that benefits mood and emotional regulation. Relaxed muscles and a calm nervous system decrease pain-related stress signals to the brain, reducing amygdala hyperactivity and supporting prefrontal cortex control, which stabilizes emotional responses. By combining gentle stretching with mindful relaxation, individuals promote circulation, enhance nutrient delivery to spinal tissues, and facilitate removal of metabolic waste, accelerating recovery and reinforcing the structural integrity of the back. Even small daily interventions, performed consistently, compound to improve overall flexibility, reduce stiffness, and prevent the buildup of chronic tension that contributes to pain. Pairing these evening practices with optimized sleep posture and environment maximizes restorative sleep, allowing the body and brain to recover fully, repair tissues, regulate hormones, and stabilize mood. Over weeks and months, a structured evening routine becomes an essential tool for pain-proofing the spine, supporting emotional resilience, and enhancing sleep quality, demonstrating that intentional behaviors immediately before sleep have profound effects on both physical and mental well-being. Integrating relaxation and mobility into the evening ensures that the spine is prepared for recovery, neurotransmitter balance is supported, and the nervous system remains adaptable to daily stressors. Nutrition, hydration, and daily movement integration play a pivotal role in maintaining spinal health, optimizing sleep, and supporting emotional regulation because they influence muscle function, connective tissue repair, nervous system activity, and metabolic stability. Adequate protein intake supplies the amino acids necessary for muscle repair and recovery, particularly for the deep spinal stabilizers and surrounding musculature that protect the lower back. Anti-inflammatory nutrients, including omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, magnesium, and vitamins such as B6 and D, reduce systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, supporting tissue health and minimizing discomfort or stiffness in the spine. Consuming these nutrients in alignment with circadian rhythms further enhances hormonal balance, allowing for optimal cortisol modulation during the day and melatonin release at night, which is critical for restorative slow wave and REM sleep. Hydration also has a direct impact on spinal health. Intervertebral discs rely on water content for proper cushioning and shock absorption. Dehydration can reduce disc height, impair nutrient transport, and increase the risk of stiffness or pain, which negatively affects posture, mobility, and sleep quality. Maintaining consistent fluid intake throughout the day ensures spinal structures remain hydrated, resilient, and capable of withstanding physical demands. Timing of meals and hydration matters as well. Avoiding heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol near bedtime prevents sleep disruption, supports melatonin production, and reduces nighttime sympathetic activation that can exacerbate back tension or interfere with tissue recovery. Daily movement integration complements nutrition and hydration by promoting circulation, enhancing neuromuscular coordination, and preventing stiffness. Postural resets, short walks, micro stretches, or light mobility drills throughout the day prevent prolonged static loading on the lumbar spine, hips, and thoracic regions, which can lead to compensatory movement patterns, discomfort, and reduced spinal stability. Movement also supports glucose regulation and cardiovascular function, both of which are linked to energy availability and stress resilience. By combining regular nutrition, proper hydration, and frequent, purposeful movement, the body maintains optimal musculoskeletal function, reduces inflammatory responses, and enhances the efficiency of spinal stabilizer muscles. This combination also positively influences the nervous system, lowering sympathetic tone, reducing pain perception, and promoting parasympathetic dominance, which is necessary for restorative sleep and emotional regulation. Over time, consistent integration of these practices reinforces a strong, resilient back, improves posture, and reduces the risk of injury while simultaneously enhancing sleep quality and stabilizing mood. By attending to nutrition, hydration, and daily movement as interdependent factors, individuals create a holistic system in which spinal integrity, metabolic function, and nervous system balance are optimized, resulting in a pain-resistant back, improved sleep, and enhanced emotional resilience. This integrated approach ensures that each day supports both physical recovery and mental well-being, allowing the spine, nervous system, and endocrine function to work synergistically to maintain long-term health, energy, and emotional stability. By integrating core and spinal stabilizer strengthening, mobility and flexibility optimization, sleep posture and environment, circadian-aligned morning light exposure, evening relaxation and movement routines, and nutrition, hydration, and daily movement integration, you are creating a comprehensive protocol that addresses both the physical and neurological foundations of back health and restorative sleep. Each key reinforces the others, forming a positive feedback loop in which a resilient spine reduces pain-related stress, enhances muscle recovery, and improves nervous system balance. This synergy supports deep, restorative sleep, optimizes neurotransmitter and hormonal regulation, and stabilizes mood and emotional resilience. Transformation does not rely on a single intervention, but on consistent, intentional habits that strengthen the body, align circadian rhythms, and calm the nervous system. By committing to this holistic approach, you are not only protecting and pain-proofing your back, but also creating the optimal conditions for restorative sleep, sustained energy, and long-term mental and physiological well-being.